Hi YouTube, I'm back, and today I'm going to be focusing on niceness versus kindness, as well as the complexities of lacking boundaries due to being extremely nice. Stay tuned. What I'm focusing on today is, as strange as it may seem, sometimes we cannot take people's niceness personally. What does that mean? I'm going to take it from the angle of the person who is being too nice, as well as the person that is receiving the nice treatment. As always, I am speaking from experience. I used to be that person that was extremely too nice and eventually became passive aggressive. So my level of niceness was ridiculous when I was younger. As I've mentioned in previous videos, my niceness was a result of wanting to be accepted, wanting to be liked, fear of confrontation, as well as taking things a little too personally. I remember in second grade, one time, I believe it was Christmas, and the teacher gave out Looney Tune pens. And one of my friends wanted to trade with me. I loved the pen that I had, but I didn't have the balls enough to say no. So I traded my nice pen for the whack pen. And there are more examples of that in my adulthood that focused on different things. But yeah, that's just an idea of how nice I was. Being extremely nice forces you to be labeled the nice girl. What does that mean? It's the person that can be easily taken advantage of. Someone can always ask you a favor and you're always doing. Not only that, niceness can sometimes stifle your good characteristics. It's like you're not seen as anything else. You're not truly being yourself because you're obsessed with being liked and needing that validation, needing that niceness as proof. I was always nice because I wanted to prove that I wasn't mean, if that made sense. I grew up in a predominantly white area. I went to predominantly white schools, and I kind of stereotyped myself. So I was just extra nice so I wouldn't have that token black girl attitude, if that makes sense. I felt like I was being judged because of the color of my skin, so I had to overdo it, if that makes sense. From the standpoint of a person being too nice, you eventually become passive aggressive. You get annoyed all the time. You're just completely and utterly unhappy. And the crazy thing is, in adulthood, I realized how this was really messing me up, and it also forced people to dislike me. You are being overly nice for the purpose of seeking validation. You're not being authentic. You're not being your authentic self, and it's another form of being fake. That's with validation. You can't be loyal either. Like, how do you want to be friends with everybody? A friend to all is a friend to none. The difference between kindness and niceness is treating someone with basic human respect just because they deserve that, opposed to niceness where you're doing it for something, for validation, or to be seen a certain way. I'm going to talk about how my niceness got me in trouble, because it did get me in trouble. So when I was extremely nice, remember, my biggest issue was insecurity and always wanting to be liked. My biggest fear was also hurting people's feelings. In the midst of not wanting to hurt people's feelings, you kind of lie to them. You lead them on. Going back to the quote, like I previously mentioned, you can't take people's niceness personally because they're either doing it for validation, they're not doing it from kindness, or because they actually like you. The reason I say this is because people who usually are overly nice, it's based off of something that they're lacking or something that they want from you. So in the midst of wanting this validation, wanting to be liked, basically kind of playing people, I was also leading people on. I treated everyone the same way, but people could have took my treatment as something else, or could have thought that the relationship I had with them was much deeper than it actually was, which was often the case. Especially when it came to romantic relationships and men that I was not interested in, I would still continue to entertain them and be my nice self, and then I would eventually have to blow them off later. Like it would usually blow up later because the truth always comes out. People on and they figure out the truth later, trust me, you are going to be stereotyped as a B, or like a stuck-up B. This was all due to the inability to say no. So in this instance, both parties would get hurt by my niceness. I would be annoyed and aggravated for agreeing to certain things that I wasn't in the mood to do, and people would take my niceness very personally, thinking that the relationship was more than what it actually was. Also, in the midst of trying to spare someone's feelings by basically lying or being inauthentic, in the end you're gonna end up hurting them anyway. So took me a while, took me throughout my whole adulthood to learn that authenticity is the best way to go. So let me know if any of you experience the same struggles with niceness or growing up and being too nice. I hope you enjoyed this video. That's all I have for you, and until next time, goodbye.